Previously recorded podcast.
Hello and welcome to Previously Recorded. My name is Bryan. The boys are out doing God knows what. So RP has asked me to fill in to talk about D23. This was originally a project that him and I were supposed to do, but he's probably at a Phillies game or a concert or doing anything he could do to get out of podcasting with me. So I needed an expert to talk about D23. So I enlisted the help of our friend, Preston. Preston, how are you, sir?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. When I think of Disney, I think of you as a former D23 member and a current D23 member, correct?
Yes.
Just say yes. They don't have
Okay.
to know. So what is D23 if you're not a listener? What is D23, Preston?
It is a membership service that for true Disney fans, you get inside information. I think it's a quarterly magazine.
Yeah, quarterly.
And then when you sign up every year, you get a neat little welcome package. This year, I should have pulled the plug on it, but it was kind of a mystery package of a statue and a Sorcerer's Mickey to get everything ready for D23 because people don't know D23 is a every 2 year event.
No, I thought it was
Uh,
yearly. It's every two
no,
years.
the main one, well, it's not even called. It's called the Ultimate Disney Fan Experience now. Um, they have that every 2 years in Anaheim at the Anaheim Convention Center, and every other year they have a Destination D event, which I don't know where it is this year. Sometimes it's in Florida, sometimes it's in California. I think one year was in Tokyo, and they sort of do of every follow up to everything they announced at the previous event.
Okay. So this year was the one of the 2 years where they kind of announced their big projects, correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
this was the follow up to the stuff they announced at San Diego and
Yeah.
had a little bit of extra stuff.
And this is something you want to go to, correct?
Yes, but now it's pretty hard to get
Mm.
because now they it was so big. They used to have the panels at the convention center. They moved it to the Honda Center, and so now it's like in the NBA arena.
Yeah, it looks like a Taylor Swift concert. Like
Oh
it's
yeah, this year yeah they had David and everything was pushed at night. This was the first time they didn't stream it. They usually stream all the panels, but since it was a paywall sort of, everyone because you had to pay to go to the convention, then you had to pay to go to the panels. And it was like and or unless you watched it on Fortnite,
yeah, or
which
illegally streamed to somewhere because I pretty
or
much saw all the paddles.
yeah, there was it was also free press for every vlogger and YouTuber and cast members because they got a unique link.
Yeah. All right.
But
Well, let's just dive in. We're going to kind of go through some of the big announcements from D23, some of the things we like, some things we don't like. If you are not a Disney person or a person that cares about Marvel projects, you could just log off now because it's going to be all Disney and just two Disney nerds waxing poetic about how amazing Disney is. So, so buckle up. The first couple projects that we're going to talk about is from Marvel, their Marvel side. Kind of lackluster this year. Not too many big announcements, like project wise.
yeah, because they had a big presence at Hall H in San Diego. So
Yeah,
usually if they go there, they come here. It's the I actually got to see it was it was like very small version of the Thunderbolts trailer,
okay, yeah,
and that looked pretty good.
yeah.
It looked
Thunderbolts looks really good. I kind of was whatever about it. Like I liked a lot of those characters, but the trailer that kind of leaked out, I was like, all right,
yeah
like I'm into it.
yeah it looked Ghost and Taskmaster, they got updated costumes. Um, I'm not sure where this ties in timeline wise. Where I don't know if it's before or after New World Order.
Mm.
So I don't know if they're trying to maintain the storyline of everything ties in like they
Yeah,
were before.
Yeah, if you don't know, Thunderbolts is like in the comics, it's basically the Suicide Squad. It's a bunch of villains that kind of got recruited to lessen their sentence by getting sent out to do these missions that they don't want heroes kind of doing. So in the movie, it's Bucky, also known as Winter Soldier, Ghost from Ant-Man and Wasp, Taskmaster from the Black Widow movie. Uh, was it
Elena,
Yelena?
yeah, Elena.
Ye-
Crimson, no, no.
Yelena Black Widow's sister and Red Guardian, and then U.S. Agent from the Bucky and whatever Bucky
Winter
and
Soldier.
yeah, Winter Soldier and a Falcon TV show.
Yeah,
So it's all these like characters kind of getting their shine and hopefully their stories kind of ending. They teased the Sentry, which was really cool. I'm excited for that.
yeah, because he got recast. It was supposed to be originally,
The Invincible Kid.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then they took forever to start shooting, so he moved on. So I don't know if they ever announced who took over for him.
He was in the trailer. I didn't know. It
Okay,
looked like a nobody to
it was
me.
very yeah, it was very quick and
Yeah.
well.
So that's exciting. I'm looking forward to that movie. The other trailer that came out was Ironheart, the Disney Plus TV show project, which I don't care about.
I'm actually excited for it because I like bringing
Ramos.
in Ramos is bringing in the hood,
Yeah.
so they're leaning towards more the mystical.
I so I love the Hood. He's like for some reason he's always stood out for me as like a favorite villain, but he's a D-lister. And I don't from the costume, like even in the trailer, I'm like, I don't know. And
Yeah,
I'm curious if they'll go like the mystical route for him.
and her suit still bugs me
It's
because
still
it seems
bulky.
it's still bulky, and I'm like, oh, I like it that it's practical because I've seen so many sci-fi movies, my eye can like determine what's CG and what's practical,
Hmm.
and I don't think they spent a lot of didn't give a lot of money to this, so it's. I know eventually she'll slim down to the current suit, but yeah, that's my only one thing is because I liked her in Wakanda forever.
Yeah,
It was somebody new. It was
fun. It was
not
fun.
it was fun.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for and I can stay home and watch. I don't gotta go.
Yeah, I mean I'll definitely watch it just because it's on Disney Plus, but I just don't care that much.
Yeah.
The other big one was Agatha All Along, a project that I also did not care about whatsoever. Saw the trailer. It looks really good.
Yeah, it's very hook. It's sort of as dark, I think, as Disney's gonna let Marvel get.
Yeah.
I like that they're doing the Covenant and there's sort of this if you watched enough stuff, you know she's just bringing them all to sacrifice to get her
Yeah. I
powers
mean, you kind
back.
of got that for the trailer, yeah.
I mean, they got all Aubrey Plaza as a witch, so
So
I'm in
Aubrey
for her.
Plaza, I think, is going to be awesome because there was
Yeah,
a show called Legion that no one really watched, and she was the bad guy on there, and she was unhinged. So I feel like it's going to be the same character, just her being completely unhinged.
yeah, and it's another introduction to one of the young Avengers, Wicked.
Is that confirmed? Is that him?
Yeah, they sort of the last image they showed from them, he's sort of in that gear. He's
Okay.
in his costume, so they're giving it away, but not giving. If you know, you
Yeah.
know. If you don't, um,
Yeah. So that's supposedly one of Wanda's twin boys that she made that shouldn't exist.
yeah, and
Yeah.
like I said, I don't know where. And this is another one. It picks up after WandaVision, but
Mhm.
not. I don't know how long.
Yeah, I'm into
Uh,
that though. I like they're leaning into the magic route and getting
yeah,
away from this multiverse stuff. I hope that's where we're kind of going.
yeah. The
I
multiverse
say
stuff
we as if
is.
I'm part of it, but
I mean, you are Marvel. You are legally allowed to say that. Your last name is Marvel.
the other pseudo big announcement was Doctor Doom was coming to Fortnite. If you care about Fortnite, whatever. It's just their next big Marvel event. We're just Doctor Doom, I think, is just going to be shoved in everyone's face for a while.
Yeah, I haven't. I usually play with my nephews, but they've been doing more like storylines tied into the new seasons. So his is because there was something earlier that his throne looks like
It's the
um
thing.
looks like the
Yeah.
thing, but it's still weird that Disney is letting some of their characters like carry guns and Fortnite. It's that part still is weird to me.
It's money. It's just Disney
Yeah, oh,
making
it's
money.
funny. Yeah, yeah. Well, they also invested very large amount into that company because they're eventually going to get their own little
Yeah, like
Fortnite
World. Yeah.
Island. Yeah, so I mean, if it brings back not Dimensions, what's that Disney game with the little collector figures?
Oh, Infinity.
Infinity.
Disney
If it's sort of
Infinity.
like an
That's never
odd,
coming
if
back. Give
it's
up.
I look, I it may you can still buy some of the figures at Five Below.
Uh, Moving on from Marvel to more of their live action projects. They announced the next season of Percy Jackson, which is a show I started and kind of stopped. I thought it was really
I
good.
never I never got in, and it had Edge
Mm,
from WWE, and I'm
yeah,
shocked I didn't. That he was Hades.
yeah. It
I'm
was
like,
good though. It was a good show, so I'm glad they're pushing that forward, and
yeah,
Disney Plus needs projects, and that's a decent project. Tron Ares, is that the next one coming out?
I
Who
yeah,
cares? Oh my
only
God. Listen, I will fight you. I liked the first original Tron like back in the day. I was excited for not even reboot, the sequel
the
that came
sequel.
out, what, 10 years ago at this point? And now we're still tapping that well. Jared Leto's going to be in it.
Th- I'm excited for it because I like it, and it's odd because you ask a lot of people about that, and they go the music,
Yep.
like with that, and now that Nine Inch Nails is going to do the
Yeah,
music
Trent
for
Reznor,
this,
yeah.
and he's been doing a lot of good soundtracks, scores, so I'm excited. I hope they do. I couldn't find anything about it. I just seen Jeff Bridges come out and be like, "I'm back," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Awesome," because I like he's the dude now. He will always every time see him, he's the dude. Um, but I hope that they're doing a meshing of the world the way that the first one kind of like this is because I don't know if the one he created that brought into I don't know if she's still around
Yeah, because she came into
and she
the real world, right?
and she
Like at
was
the
supposed to
end.
heal the world. So I'd like to see how that finishes out.
Nah, who cares?
So I'm excited for it. I mean, there's a movie we're going to talk about where I am how you are right now, and
Oh,
so
there's a couple of those on my list. So
no,
we'll,
well,
but
mine
Tron,
is
I know it's only because they have the coaster, so they're trying to push that into park.
oh, and
But
they have a whole
I
act.
don't understand why this IP is something that they are trying desperately to make work.
Some people like it, like the it much the I don't
It
know if
does well
they
overseas.
yeah. Oh,
That's
and the
it.
merch,
Yeah.
like I'm next time I go, I'm buying. You can scan yourself and do an action figure. You do the voices, you do the fit, like as you can see behind me. I am action figure. So having, so I'm that's probably like $100 a thing, and I'm like, yes, I would like to be the little Tron robot. Um, but no, that looks cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
Let it die. The next live action project was one I forgot they were even doing. The Snow White movie. The trailer dropped for that.
Yeah, that
I
I don't.
forgot this has been in like creation hell for like 4 or 5 years now.
Well, like a majority of these projects, they started filming and the writer strike and the actor strike happened at the same time.
Hmm.
So everything got pushed back. Like Thunder, it affected Captain America, Thunderbolts, Wanda. Well, no, that was good. But yeah, and this got a lot of controversy because they were like, "Oh, we're not going to use the dwarves,"
Yeah.
and then I guess enough people complained, and
Well,
they were like,
it was what it was, Dinklage. Peter Dinklage came out and kind of said like, "What are we doing? Why are we doing this? Why are we using little
Yeah.
people?" And then other little people, fellow little people actors, were like, "Yeah, what the hell, man? Like
Yeah.
this is how I work. This is my bread and butter. Like I want to be a dwarf for the seven dwarves, Snow White." And then a picture leaked of just like seven magical people,
People. Yeah.
and they were just wearing like bed sheets and hodgepodge clothes, and people are like, "What is this?" And then I feel like
Yeah.
it disappeared, and now they went, oof, they
Yeah.
went
And they
full
made,
cartoon goofy
yeah.
dwarves.
It looks like they did like a whole animated touch on the whole movie, it looks like, because
I
it's,
I don't know. Like it looks the movie itself looks good, like the
yeah.
background and everything, because like they did give it this like cartoony, like colorful, like pop.
Right.
And Rachel Ziegler or whatever, like I don't mind her. And then what's her name? Wonder Woman is the
Gal
witch,
Gadot.
which I think
Yeah.
will be great. But those dwarves were like, oof. But I'll watch on Disney Plus. I'm not going to theaters.
Yeah.
And then the next live action, Mufasa, another
I
who, why, what?
it makes no sense because I didn't need a Mufasa story.
Yeah,
Like
who cares?
I got the, oh, adopted brother, and they took Thor and just switched it.
Yep, yeah, it's lions. It's Thor with lions. It looks
And but
fine.
only thing I like about it, they animated the animals
Mm,
more. Because when I seen the first one, when Simba's like, "Dad, Dad, wake
yeah,
up, wake," it's just like looking at one of my cats. He's just no, and I was walking with a friend, and he was like, "Yeah, but that's not realistic." I'm like, "It's a talking lion cub.
yeah.
We're gone with like
Yeah,
this
they
looks a
did emote
little
them a
bit,
bit better.
yeah,
That they have like actual, they look like they smile and like talk without being
yeah."
creepy. Like it works.
Without that dead eye, that thousand
Yeah,
eye.
I said to RP, I like that they're fighting white lions because it makes me think of the Kimba controversy. Do you know about Kimba?
No.
So Kimba is like a 1980s like anime movie with a white lion that people say Disney stole the Lion King from. It's almost like beat by beat the Lion
Oh,
King. I know you're shaking your head. I know.
it wouldn't shock me because Disney, like, if I would wish like this third rate horror studio is taking all the animated movies and
The free license of all the Disney. Yeah.
like they're doing a Pooh and Honey, a Bambi one, a Peter Pan one, a Steamboat Willie one. So if you ever read the original stories where these come from, they're dark.
Yeah.
So I'm not shocked that Disney took an idea and
Yeah. No,
polished it
it
up.
just makes me laugh though because it's I saw white lions. I'm like, oh, is it Kimba?
Yeah,
Are they fighting Kimba?
the name will probably be like close to that.
Yeah, it'll be like
Um,
Kimbari or something.
yeah, yeah.
The next live action project we could just gloss over. Stitch. No one cares. No one likes Stitch. Stitch is the worst Disney
I'm.
character.
He's not. He's a perfect little anger boy. I I fell in love with him without seeing the movie, which
That's right. I forgot that we learned that
everybody
fact.
thinks that's the craziest thing. That like, yeah, I've never seen it. I've seen the cartoon. I've never sat down and seen the movie.
That's right. I
And
forgot we
since
learned.
and I'm 44 years old, so I don't plan on seeing it till like I'm ready to check out, and it will be the last thing I
Are you gonna
see.
watch the live action?
Oh God, yes,
Oh, then
yeah.
you'll see Lilo and Stitch.
It still doesn't count.
It'll be
Like
fine. I think he
like
looks good.
he's
Like
not weird. They didn't do
most
the
of my
Sonic
complaints with the
thing.
live action, it's like it's unnecessary. He looks just like the cartoon.
Yeah,
So it's like which you have to do because if you try to make Stitch realistic, he's a creepy monster. So
yeah,
you got to give him that cute like cartoony edge.
yeah.
But it's again like what's the point? Why are we doing live action?
They're doing a lot. They're
Yeah,
doing a
make a
lot of live
sequel. Like
action.
why do live just make a Lilo and Stitch sequel? Like that won't be fine.
If they're following the Sony Spider-Man rules, if you don't remake the movie, you eventually will lose the IP.
Do a
So
sequel.
everything's like this is like, oh, if we changed it, we have the IP longer. It'll take That's why Steamboat Willie is finally in the public domain.
Hmm.
And Disney's like, okay, we barely use that now,
Yeah,
that version
but
of
not
it.
Mickey because Mickey's not Steamboat Willie. Like it was that
Right.
whole
Yeah.
loop that they have.
So
But that's it. The live projects that I kind of found or cared about. I'm sure there's other stuff they announced, but those are like the big ones. So we'll go into their other IP that they're driving into the ground, Star Wars.
I don't know what we're gonna say Avatar.
Skeleton Crew.
I like the trailer. It's again, Star Wars is always um aimed towards kids. So this is the little your son's generation of the Goonies.
Hmm.
So I think a lot of little kids are going to be like, "Oh, this is cool. We can just go on this fun adventure." I think it's weird that they have Jude Law in it
Mm.
because when I see him, I'm like, "Oh, you're a Marvel villain." He's not different enough. He looks
Yeah.
just like he was his Marvel gear.
They
So,
played Captain Hook too, so he's a Disney guy clearly.
oh yeah, he did play Captain.
Yeah, that movie was awful. Peter Pan again, live action. Why are we doing it? Um, I'm really excited for this. I really didn't have any interest because the Mar or not Marvel, but Star Wars TV shows have been kind of like missed for me, more missed than hits. But this
Yeah,
one, like I watched a trailer and I got the same vibe. I was like, oh, okay, like it's
it
kids and they
looks
get
fun.
lost in space and they're kind of like getting involved in like very Star Warsy things.
Yeah,
So I was excited. I was like, oh, this is a cool looking trailer. It made me excited for the show.
and because like with Star Wars, like I kind of checked out of Star Wars after the end of Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
He's my favorite Jedi. Like he's my favorite Star Wars character. So I'm like, my story with my person is good. I
Mm.
don't I didn't even check out the acolytes.
Yeah, it was
Like I
whatever.
didn't even give that
I know
a
people like
view.
hated it. It was extremely whatever. Like I
Yeah.
just prequels and stuff like just aren't doing it for me. But it had good moments and it had things that you could kind of see are leading toward like the fall of the Jedi, which is interesting. But it's like the Jedi are already gone by the time we met them, so I don't care. Like I
Yeah.
know they fall apart. It's like it's my problem with prequels. It's just like, all right, like this is this a story that we need to tell? Like, so I don't
And
care
they
about that. But
and
Skeleton Crew
since
looks good. I like this is all I need from Star Wars. I just need different. Like move away from the fucking Jedis, move away from Luke,
everything
not Lucas, but
doesn't have
the Skywalkers.
yeah,
Like the
everything doesn't
galaxy is
have to be tied.
ginormous.
Yeah, they tied too much into this, even with the theme parks. They had to tie it to like my idea for the perfect Star Wars land would have been like it's equal playing field. Everybody can play in that sandbox.
Mm,
Like they're finally doing it now, but in California where they're having Mando show up, Vader sometimes shows up. Like you can just plug and play any character into that land,
yeah. Yeah, because
and
that's what we want.
yeah,
Like no one's
like
going in there being like, that's not accurate to what's
no, I mean some people were. Like
Yeah.
I went and when it first opened, I went I built a lightsaber, and that whole experience is awesome. I mean,
Mm,
eventually when you go to pick your color, they go through the laundry list of the purple one,
mm,
the red one. It would have been nice if they sort of Hogwarted it. Like a color will choose, you'll choose your color by
mm.
how you feel brave. Like,
People would be annoyed by that.
yeah,
Yeah. And then they search your wallet and then
yeah.
just Jedi mind tricked you out of hundreds of
Oh,
dollars.
oh no, I did two of them. Um, so, but no, I would wish like, yeah, so I like that this is something new. It's not tied, hopefully, it's
Hopefully.
not
You
tied
say that,
in.
yes,
Yeah.
hopefully until fucking Luke shows up or somebody. That's my biggest problem with like Mandalorian, where it's like, all right, cool, like we're setting that universe, like we're kind of, and then like Luke showed up. It was exciting, yeah, but then it's just like, ah, fuck, like now
I
Luke's
was,
here, now Boba
yeah.
Fett's here, now like it just feeds into itself.
It's
Speaking of them feeding themselves, Mendelssohn's coming back as Krennic for Andor season 2.
I know it. Never watched Andor.
Never watched Andor either because it
Oh,
literally is the same problem I had with prequels. And I heard it's great. I just don't
well,
care.
my thing is like, I know if I know how something ends, eh,
Yeah, where's it leading to?
like
He dies.
like
Like,
when Rogue One came out, everyone's like, I can't wait for the sequel. I'm like, what do you mean? It's
yeah,
Star Wars.
yep,
They're
they're all
like, what do
dead.
you mean? I'm like, it's. Did you watch the movie? They
Hmm.
hand the information over to Leia. They're like, ah. I'm like, you didn't. You okay? It was weird that people was trying to plot or oh no, they all got out on a ship. I'm like, no, that planet go
Preston,
bye
they
bye.
still might. You don't know. Marvel next D23, they're going to announce Rogue 2, and they all lived on that bubble. You never know. The other thing they showed off this year was the Grogu and Mando footage for the movie that they're doing. Don't care.
I could
Don't.
not find
I
anything.
found stills. They didn't show
Only thing
anything
I
good.
found was just how they recapped the previous year. That's the only one I still get excited for.
Hmm.
It's just like Pascal's very popular now, so it's like I don't even think he's there
Yeah, you could just
anymore.
do the voice.
He just does the voice and maybe shows up. But like it was fun. But then like I liked the last season. But eventually it's Dave Filoni finishing his who I think should have been spearheading this whole Star Wars rebirth.
Yeah,
They
it's fine. I like the show, but
yeah
I don't think we need a movie. But I'll hold my breath until I see a trailer or whatever. Like,
yeah, and I don't think that's how
Star Wars.
like
I'm burnt out in Star Wars. I just don't.
they need like Marvel they need a rest. It's just
Mm,
Disney got caught up in that they got a streaming, we got two
yeah,
streaming, and I'm like, okay, it's sort of that's why I don't feel like I get if I have too many options, I don't want any options. Like I don't feel like I have to watch something. And then when
yeah,
someone's like, you have to watch it, I'm like, good.
yeah,
And like it's so I don't keep up as I used
yeah. Well, Disney doesn't have many options either. They are in their sequel era
to. Yeah.
because every animated project was pretty much a sequel except for one thing, pretty
The
much.
the one I got excited for,
Hoppers.
Hoppers. That just sounds like that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, and
Like
what is it? Like they jump into a body of a beaver or something? It's like,
a girl downloads her brain into a mechanical uh beaver figure.
hmm,
And like I like it that they go it's something they're trying.
yeah, it's Pixar,
So
right?
no, I think it's
Oh, is it
Disney.
Disney? I thought that was Pixar for some reason.
It's weird that they're all
They're interchangeable, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, but no, that one looked fun. I'm like, oh, that's different.
Yep.
I don't know what they're gonna do with Incredibles 3.
Oh, yeah. So we'll go down. We got Zootopia
Okay.
2's coming, which I actually didn't know about. I'm not surprised, but I didn't know that was coming.
They announced they were working on that when they announced the land in Shanghai.
Okay. So
It did,
Zootopia 2's coming. Frozen 3 is coming officially, which we all knew. They showed concept art and
yeah, that's it.
announced Frozen 4.
Yeah, I don't, that's calling it too early.
Yeah. It's fine.
It
I liked Frozen 1 a lot. Frozen 2 was very boring to me, but I like the franchise, so I don't care. Like it's a
yeah.
nice princess one and it seems to be it kind of saved Disney again, so I'm fine with it. Like you said, Incredibles 3 officially announced, which is fine. Like why not? Like
I think they should, I
just
would
do
like
a
a
Marvel
time
parody.
or just a time jump of like having the kids have to deal with taking over for the parents would be
Yeah.
cool.
It's fine. It'll be good. They also announced the Inside Out TV show coming to Disney Plus, which is going to be like Riley's dreams, like people working on Riley's dreams.
Yeah, I like that. And like the one thing I like about Inside Out, they talk to kids about issues because they show I seen a clip of anxiety like going nuts, and I
Mm,
suffer from anxiety, so seeing it portrayed in a way can be explained. I'm like, that made me emotional because I'm like, oh, that's going to help people who don't understand or have
mhm.
issues with really bad anxiety. So seeing it sort of like dumbed down, not dumbed down, but more explainable for kids.
Yeah, no, I didn't see
So
Inside Out 2 yet. Did you not see it then?
I watched a lot of stuff online.
Okay.
I've
Yeah,
I
from what I
was
saw, it looks good. I like the first one a lot, so I'm
oh
excited,
yeah,
and I'm glad the second one's doing well. Even though,
yeah,
again,
it's
now
Russell.
Disney's going to be like, let's do sequels to everything.
That's the only problem. It's they know they're not going to take risks because they know
Mm,
they're going to have. They tried it. Of course, they tried it at a bad time when the world was like shutting down. So everything was like, oh, we can't, and everything else that was going on. So it's not, but they're going back to what's safe.
yeah,
And
yeah, which is boring, but it is what
yeah,
it is. Moana 2 trailer came out. Another
which
one,
was
I'm fine with it.
she gets to be a big sister.
It looks like Moana.
Well,
Actually,
was the rumor was that it's just the TV show
that's the rumor, but who knows? Yeah, supposedly
because
the rumor was Moana was supposed to get a television show, but the script was so good and Disney actually had support for it that they turned it into a movie. They took
okay.
the episodes and made, but I don't know the logistics of that. Like you can't just take episodes and like turn them into a movie successfully unless the show was filmed like
I think
where
they
it ended
said
was exactly where it picked up.
I think they said a majority of the episodes were shot, so it was following. It had a follow through, so I think
Hmm.
they just because it takes like an animated movie takes years to develop.
Yeah, that's why
Like
like when I heard that rumor, I was like at first like, ah, that's dumb. But then when I thought about it, I was like, I don't know if that's how it works. But either way, the chair looked fine.
um
The Rock being
yeah,
the Rock, her being
The
her.
Rock being The Rock because they were supposed to do a live action,
Yeah, like hopefully that's dropped.
and it's The
We're gonna
Rock.
get more Hey Hey being Hey Hey. We're gonna get the pig this time. It's just
A little
everything that worked, amp it up.
another little sister. So they're I
She'll
think
stow away
they're
on the boat.
yeah.
Uh, Toy Story 5, don't care. Let's move along. Don't care.
I like it that they're going after the iPad babies.
Don't care. 4 sucked. 3 had the
I
greatest send off ever. And then they made 4, which was awful. Now they're doing another one. Who cares? Who cares? What is it? A prequel? Like we go
no
back now?
no it's
Woody and Buzz or Woody and Bo come back?
yeah I think so because they're
Dumb.
fighting. I'm assuming his sister. No, because Andy's not even in it. Bonnie's probably a preteen now, so she's on her iPad. She's on.
Yeah.
So they're like,
So
I
what?
just seen
They
a
found Buzz and Bo, and they're like, "Hey, let's come fight these iPads." Dumb, stupid, lazy. Moving on. Toy Story 5 stinks.
gonna make
Um,
$1 billion.
yeah, it'll make money, but it stinks. Some live action stuff that we forgot. Avatar 3. Actually, I guess it's
Oh,
kind of animated, right?
oh,
Because
oh! I hate Avatar. It
oh,
is the.
RP,
Oh no, I think I told
cut,
RP.
cut, RP, no.
They stole the idea of Fern Gully.
Oh, stop it. Everything's stolen from everything.
This is a human got shrunken down to see how his actions affected the world around him. That was Avatar. Then Cameron like, oh, I'm gonna make 10 of these. Guess what? We're gonna go to the water now.
Yeah. No, he's
And
taking
now,
Avatar: The Last Airbender. They
well, and then
did.
Remember
They did the
when
forest, then water, and the next one is fire and ash. So we're gonna
Fire and
find the
Ash?
fire avatars, and then it's gonna be what? The air avatars,
It's
and
going to go
then
back to air,
yeah,
and they better be red. They better be red and stone colored. Because if they're
nah, they're gonna
blue,
be bluish and rocky or something stupid like that.
that,
Hey, anyway, who cares? They announced it. It's coming out surprisingly quicker than I thought, but
no,
and
it's going
then
to get
after
delayed.
three, I think they're making like eight more. So
It's going to get delayed.
yeah, whatever. Um, so that's it for some of their projects coming to Disney Plus and the theaters. So let's talk about some of our favorite and least favorite things, the parks. So let's talk about what they're doing in the parks because what they're doing is interesting and also potentially devastating.
I was Before we started, I was looking at the aerial view of Hollywood's. Do you want to talk about Monsterland first?
Uh, what? Oh, Villainland?
No, no, Monsters Lane.
Oh,
So
Monsters
that
Inc. Yeah, we could talk about that.
because where everyone's worried that it's going to the
Yeah,
Muppets.
it's destroying the Muppets. Muppets are gone.
Eh, it's not,
Muppets are
because
gone.
that plot is next to that's expand. It's They're gonna go away. That expansion plot is earmarked for Star Wars because you just tear down the wall, you continue plot two.
Yeah, Muppets is gone,
I
man. Disney doesn't care about the Muppets. You and I think, are the only fans left of the Muppets on the
they
planet
just
Earth.
but
I don't
they
even think
just
Jim Henson's kid cares about the Muppets as much as we do.
but they fixed the seats. They
Yeah, they
put in
fixed the
all
seats
new seats.
so they could tear it down.
I was thinking about this today. If they wanted to redo the Muppets, since that it because I remember the very first ride was supposed to be a great movie ride with the Muppets.
Yeah,
They could make an animate. They could keep the theater and keep the movie, but do parodies of Avengers, Star Wars. Like they're trying to.
Muppets are gone, man. Just give it up. I'm
No,
sorry.
never. I will. I will.
Every project they announce, I literally see people like they're gonna get rid of Muppets 3D, and the fact that they haven't yet, like, gives me hope.
Yeah,
But
but
it's just
this.
like they're building these giant lands, and then the Muppets have like a corner
Well,
store.
but the Star Wars launch bay, that's close to Rock and Roller Coaster. That's big enough where that would fit, and it's closer to Toy Story Land, so you could have your Pixar stuff all on one side. So
Muppets
that's
are
where
gone.
I eventually, but not now.
Yeah, they're gone. But they're not, they didn't even do any announcements of the Muppets. As you said, they're doing a Monsters Incorporated area land.
Yeah, it's going to be the Scare Factory. I'm
Okay.
hoping it's going to be the first swinging
Yeah, suspended roller coaster.
suspended roller coaster Disney's ever done.
Yeah, so it's literally what every person had the idea of when you saw Monsters Inc. and the doors flying
Yeah,
around. Everyone was like, "Oh, that'd be a cool ride."
that'd be a
They're
cool
they're
ride.
finally getting around to it
But
18 years later.
that's Villains Land they've been talking about, which is we'll get
You're
to.
jumping ahead.
Sorry.
Um, I'm kind of surprised about a Monsters Inc. area.
They've been Rock and Roll Roller Coaster from Aerosmith. That's another one that every year we think is going to get rethemed when it
Mm,
shuts down, and it's been rumored to be Powerline. But that was the first one where they're like, oh, they're going to make it.
Power
They
line would
were,
be cool.
yeah, they're going to make it. Like I said, that courtyard that was still where Launch Bay used to be the animation studio. That's big enough. You can put the whole land there and make that whole area Pixar, Florida's version of Pixar Pier.
Mm.
Just don't touch Tower of Terror.
Yeah, I don't know. Monsters Inc. is an interesting choice. They kind of announced that, and I went, "That's a big like project just to have that ride." Because
I
I
think
feel
it's
like that's
gonna,
all it is. They just want to build this area just to have that ride.
yeah,
Just build
and
the
I
ride.
think, well, eventually they'll, because there's a version of this in Tokyo where it's a Buzz Lightyear, but with monsters
Mm.
and a flashlight. You follow the story and you shine the flashlight at the monsters. So that they could also make that into it. The land's pretty big, but like you said, that they haven't released concept art. That's the only thing that gives me a little bit. They leased a little bit, but not like.
Yeah.
But it's scary. I'm
Yeah.
hoping the Muppets survive.
Yeah, that's an interesting choice for Monsters Inc. It's not a franchise that I am like screaming to see
Right.
representation of. So it's they announced it, and I went, that's cool for a ride to have this whole area, but whatever. Um, the only other thing they announced for Hollywood Studios was a update for the Millennium Falcon ride. We'll get a Grogu and Mando mission.
Yeah.
Who cares? All right, move along. That's it
Well,
for
California's got their version of Hollywood Studios. They got the good stuff because they got
yeah. It's
the Avengers Quinjet adventure going after King Thanos.
yeah. You're jumping ahead. We're not there yet. Preston, stick to the itinerary. God damn it! Feel
Cut,
like I'm talking to RP and the boys. You're going all over the place.
sorry.
All right, so we're out of Hollywood Studios. Let's jump into Magic
Yes.
Kingdom. You kind of alluded to it. They're finally building a villains land in the Magic Kingdom.
Yes.
Where the fuck is that going?
Um I believe, because I texted you earlier, a couple years ago they did test balloons because there was rumors they were going to do a Moana log flume ride
Okay.
behind um, Jungle Cruise
Okay.
because they have some land back. They have a lot of land, and if you like, I looked at the area view. So there's rumors that it's going to go there. So it'll be like if you ever been there, right before you get to past Tiana's Bayou Adventure, there's like a
Yeah.
little fork. I
Yep.
think it's going to be that way.
Okay. So get rid of
They're not
Tiki
getting rid of
Room, get
the.
rid of Adventure,
No, no, no,
get rid of Jungle Cruise, get rid of
no,
Tiki Room. What else?
no.
Just
That
tear it all
all.
down.
No, I mean I don't mind if they take it. If it was the first, like in in Disneyland, I'd be more upset. But all that stuff came over here, so it's not original to our park.
Mm.
So I don't mind, but I don't. But no, that's the center. This is off. This is off the beaten path.
This is exciting. I like they've been leaning heavy into the villains for a long time, and it's finally like this is something people have been asking for. I
Yeah,
sent a video to RP when they announced this. The guy recording was like crying. Like it was very
yeah.
dramatic, but he was like, "Oh my God, it's finally happening." And I was like, "All right, that's cool, but is it that big of a deal?" But I'm if it's done right, it could be very cool. Like I think it's different.
I believe this has been blue skied I almost 20 years.
Mm,
So they've been it's all management. Like they need sometimes they need a kick to be like, okay, we're finally gonna spend the money that we have. And that they're doing something that they know it's gonna be an instant hit. It's gonna be virtual queue lines just to walk around that area. And from
mm.
the concept art, it looks like two roller coasters. One looks like all thorny, like
Yeah, they've
Maleficent's
really announced what's
castle.
going back there, but yeah, there's pictures
Yeah,
where you can kind of like figure out what's going on.
yeah. So I like it'd be nice. It'd be awesome if they do Villain's Tavern.
Yeah, they got to do it
Like
right. That's the thing. It's the
so,
one thing like Disney just kind of does well or completely fumbles the ball. Like if you're gonna do a
right?
villains land, like you have to represent all the villains. Like it looks
Yeah,
like a lot of Maleficent. So it's like if that's the story that they're telling, that like Maleficent got the group together, that's fine. But you need to represent all of them in that area.
right.
And
And
that's where I'm like, we'll see what happens.
but then you got to go. Are they going to if they do every villain
The
like
main ones, you do Maleficent, the Queen,
Radagast?
Hades, Hook,
I'll,
all the
I'll vote
Kingdom
for
Heart villains.
I'll vote for Radagast.
Who?
The villain from Great Mouse Detective.
Oh, Radigan, yeah.
Yeah,
He'll have a
Radigan.
give him like a little
Little spinner ride.
he could have a little pub just actual size of a rat, like just
Yeah, it'd be
yeah,
cool.
so that's cool. Like I that when they announced that, and that was like the last thing they announced. They made like a
Yeah,
big deal out of it.
yeah.
It was really cool.
Because every year it's like, is it this year? Is it this
Yeah.
year?
So we'll see. That'll be coming 2038. I'll be dead, but it'll be nice for my grandkids to see it.
I think they said everything
They say like
is
2029 or something. Like
2020, yeah, 2027, 2029. It's because they've been clearing land. So, and Disney sort of has this no fly over,
mm,
unlike Universal, where I think he's on Twitter, BioReconstruct. He just flies over Universal and snaps every
yeah, because they build
videos.
hype.
Yeah, so Disney's just like, no, you can't fly over our castle.
Yeah.
Now,
The
I would
other
like that.
thing. Oops, sorry, what happened?
I would like that to be if you're looking at the castle, you see the dark castle in like further back. I wish
Mm,
they would build it so that because that would be like just the
never.
good
They would
staring
never.
at.
That would ruin pictures. They would never do that.
That would be
That Main
awesome.
Street USA picture shot, and then they have you put your hand up to hold Tinkerbell. That's just printing money. The
Or
people don't want the dark castle in the background.
there's more. That'd be a huge hit. During Mickey's Not
No,
So
it'll
Scary.
be another walk that you just get. You hold your hand up, and what's the
The
Tinkerbell equivalent? Radigan.
uh,
You hold your hand up, a
the
Radigan's.
evil Queen's Apple.
Yeah. The other thing they announced was Pirates of the Caribbean Taverns coming.
Yeah, they
That's
announced. Yeah,
cool. That's been in the works for a while, so that was
they
whatever.
just
But
that was one of them things. They were like, we have this idea. Where are you going to put it? Oh,
yeah, it'll tiki room, knock that shit down and just throw it in there.
you hate to do that.
The other big announcement that again scratching my head a bit is cars are coming to the Magic Kingdom Frontierland.
Yeah, I'm actually shocked. I didn't even think they would do this, and that this is the only official image that they put out of the park. It's in the middle of Tom Sawyer's Island and the
Yeah,
Rivers of
drain
America.
the swamp.
So it's that would be nice. That would be cool. That's something different. And they didn't do a carbon copy because
Yeah, yeah, because they have it in
before
California, right? Cars
yeah
have like their
before
little area.
yeah before Star Wars Land, they were going to do just a carbon copy of Radiator Springs,
Mm.
and then they bought Star Wars and had plans for
Yeah,
Star Wars.
it's
But I like
interesting.
it. It's different. It's that I can't even remember the last time I ever went to Tom Sawyer's Island
Nobody.
when I was on the boat. Like, only time I see the boat is when I'm in line for Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's good. I was telling somebody the other day, it was like Cars is like Pixar or Disney's like most profitable franchise because of the merch, because of the toys. So I get that they're gonna push that. It was just an
oh yeah,
interesting idea where they're putting it.
my oldest nephew is now 19. I took him, that was his first movie I took him to was Cars.
Mm.
And he had every my mom worked at Toys R Us at the time, but he had every car person and that they still made it. They did monster trucks, then they did planes. Like
Yeah, I get them for
it,
Oliver still. I just got them one the other
yeah,
day. They're just easy, quick things to get.
they're easy and it's boys like cars,
Yep.
girls like cars. So and I like it that it's an off-road adventure.
Yeah, yeah, that's what
So
they're kind of
it's
gearing it toward. That's like
yeah. So
it
I
fits
like
the theme of Frontierland. They're driving
yeah
like in the desert, kind of.
yeah. It's from the picture. It's like over they go up like an icy mountain. It looks like a roller coaster
Hmm.
almost. So that's I'm excited about this.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not surprised that it's coming.
Yeah,
I just where they're putting it, I thought was kind of interesting. But
they've been trying to
knockout, you know
figure.
me. I'm not a purist. If you need to knock some shit out, like to
Oh yeah,
build something
that's
new, do it. Like I
yeah
don't think
that the
anyone's gonna be
acres
signing
that
petitions to
takes
save Tom Sawyer
no
Island.
no. There's already people.
Jumping to Animal Kingdom. Goodbye Dino Land, which we all knew for a while. Hello Encanto ride and Indiana Jones ride. Absolutely
I
fine with
mean,
it.
yeah, that the and they didn't say it this year, but eventually we're gonna get Zootopia there.
Yeah, Zootopia,
Because
the show is coming to the Tree of Life, right?
yeah, and
Yeah,
so yeah, because I think the last one they showed that blue sky of like, hey, if Zootopia came here, this is what it would look like.
yeah.
And
Zootopia
it's
just
sort of
fits. No one's gonna be
yeah,
mad about that. It's whatever.
no.
Like Dino Land was just kind of in the back of the Animal Kingdom.
Oh yeah.
Encanto fits. I like it. It's going to be a roller coaster type ride through the house, which I could be awesome because the house is like a TARDIS. It's
Yeah.
huge on the inside, so you could create
Yeah,
like giant
it's
labyrinths. And then
I
Indiana
think that
Jones, love it. I
I'm
don't care.
excited. It's about time we got in the Indiana Jones
Yeah.
ride here. And
That was kind of
it's different because it's he's searching for a mist and it fits in with Animal Kingdom because he's searching for a legend of a mystical creature.
yeah.
So
Yeah. So that's it for Animal Kingdom. We talked about Hollywood Studios. Epcot Test Track is reopening again in 2025 under I don't whoever is giving them money now.
Earth's Enterprise?
Okay.
Enterprise.
Is it Enterprise? I don't even know.
Yeah, I wish they would just
Just turn into cars. Like
not even that,
honestly.
like turn it something Marvel, do the Stark
Yeah.
Expo,
Yeah.
like give it a
So
little something.
if you're not a Marvel or not Marvel, if you're not a Disney nerd, like back in like the 90s, like kind of late 80s, every ride was sponsored. I'm sure they still are, but they're not as like obvious as they were. And like Test
Yeah.
Track was like Ford. So it was like the Ford Test Track. And like as you walk through, it was like Ford cars getting
Yeah, it
smashed
was
with dummies inside.
then it was
And then
Chevrolet.
and then it closed as Chevy bought or advertised, so they had to
Yeah.
completely rehaul the entire ride to put Chevy cars in there. And
And they wanted to
then
make it thrilling.
I think something else bought it, and then they had to change it again, and now it's completely closed again and opened up in 2025 for
This is the
CarMax or
only
whatever else is.
which is because when it first opened, it was sort of like the like plant the spaceship Earth. It was like the story of time. This was the story of automobiles. So you would
Hmm.
follow, and then, like I said, around 2000, around the millennium, they were like, "Oh, we're gonna ramp it up, and we're gonna give you speed. You're gonna go through a test track." And it was more realistic, like a test track.
Hmm.
Then they scrapped it again and went, we're going to go because I don't know if you ever been on it. Why the last time I was
Not in a
on it, it was
while.
all VR-ish
You like
looking.
designed
Like
your own car or something, right?
you
Kind of.
designed your own cars and then you were placed in your car and then you
But you
went
just
through a
drove in
test.
a car that was there. It wasn't even your car.
No, it wasn't in your car. And then it was everything was like a digitally rendered. They had digital trees.
Hmm.
And now I think they said this version is going to go back to the original version,
Okay.
more of a history of the automobile.
Yeah. Test Track's fine. I like it for what it is, but it does make me laugh that it's like the most obvious sponsor that has to keep closing and reopening for
Yeah,
sponsorship. They don't change
mentioned
much except like the queue. That's it.
that's it. Yeah, that's it. I think it's Enterprise is going to be on the front, and I think yeah, I don't know what they're going to show in
Yeah,
because
then
when you
Tesla. In
come
5 years it'll close again and Tesla will be like the sponsor and then
the Cybertruck.
who knows what else. The only other thing in Walt Disney World Epcot is Spaceship Earth inspired lounge, which is cool. Whatever. Like another I like that they're doing these themed like bars and restaurants.
Yeah, yeah, I seen it. It looked very like the new Epcot
Yeah, yeah, it's
and
fine.
just
Epcot stinks
fancy.
anyway, so whatever. If they're not doing much
Yeah,
to it.
I mean, Figment's there.
Yeah, but no one cares about
That
Figment but me.
nothing again. Everyone thought they were going to get an updated Figment. Like that ride could be so much.
Yeah, get rid of that shit.
The merch sells. Like they plaster for something that they don't put money in. They put that purple little dragon on tumblers, aprons,
Mm.
coasters,
I just bought
topiaries.
a little golden book with Figment, read to Oliver. He's like, "Who's that
Yeah,
guy?" I'm like, "Don't worry about it. You'll you'll never see him."
Don't worry, we'll save you the pain of falling in
Yeah.
love with him.
Um, California Adventure got some news. We have more Avatar nonsense comes there. They're finally getting their Avatar land and Avatar ride and Avatar whatever, but I don't like it won't be probably as grandiose as Disney World, so whatever. However, they're getting a Avengers Campus expansion, as you kind of mentioned. If you seen the Avengers Campus, there is it literally just a building and a wall.
Yeah,
Well, they're gonna knock that wall down, and behind that wall, they have two rides either built or being built and about to be completed.
yeah, their work. The one is if you've ever been on. I thought it was going to be like the old Simpsons ride where it was a theater and you got in the car and you just watched a
Yeah.
giant movie and you moved with it. But RP told me that it's going to be more like Spider-Man,
Okay.
where you're going through scene to scene, and then you're supposed to have infinitive universes fighting King Thanos.
Yeah, you're fighting the Thanos that won. So in the movie
Yeah,
Endgame, we beat Thanos, but in this ride, it's the Thanos who won that fight, and this is like a
which
multiverse
which is even more
war that we're in,
confusing
which they're leaning heavily
because
into, but it could work. Like if it ends up like the Star Wars ride, where every time you go on, it's like a
it's
different
something different. Yeah,
scenario, like that'd be cool.
yeah,
Like you jump kind of through with the Guardians, jump through with Doctor Strange, and
yeah, and
different
then you'll
ride.
have different because I seen one concept art. Miles Morales was one of the
Oh,
Spider-Mans.
really?
Yeah, so they and then because that whole land is if like Tony survived the snap, so that's why like you see him, you see Spider-Man, you see all them
Yeah,
working together.
yeah. Again,
So
don't
that
don't put much
with the
thought into it. Just throw the
yeah,
characters in there.
so
And
and
then
the
the
other
other ride
ride
is the Stark Flight Lab, which is it seems almost like a Soarin' type ride, probably more
it
action packed.
it they kind of showed it. So if it's this ride vehicle called a Cougar Arm, and it's like a claw with two chairs.
Hmm.
So from the image I see, you just fly and then you fly around through a bunch of on a conveyor belt.
Okay,
I
fine.
think it's just a person eater.
Yeah, it'll be
So
fun.
yeah,
The big
and they're
news for
getting
that is Robert Downey Jr.'s come back for both those rides. So
yes,
yeah,
they're good.
Disney
And they
truly
said
is
also
just they're just giving him money. They're just like, hey, Robert Downey, you need $1 billion.
well,
Here you go.
yeah. So because I think they said that he's going to be in a lot of more in the foreign parks too.
Okay.
So like
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah,
bad
that's fine.
because they put him.
The other news is they're getting a Coco ride. It looks like a slow water ride, almost like Pirates of the Caribbean type boats through Coco.
Yes,
Perfectly fine with that. That's a movie I enjoy. Um, Disneyland's getting his own version of Tiana's Bayou. Again,
yes.
absolutely fine with that. Don't care. And then the big news that's coming out though is they're building a Walt Disney show with a Walt Disney animatronic, something they kind of said they would never do.
I know the state isn't happy with it, but yeah, it's going to be in the Great Conversations with Mr. Lincoln.
Hmm.
It's going to replace him for a while once it comes out, and then they're going to be switching back and forth.
Yeah, that's fine. I think that could be an interesting little show. Like, just do a biography of Walt Disney and then have the animatronic there kind of interact with the audience.
Yeah,
I think that would be really interesting because the story of Walt Disney is super interesting.
yeah, and if it's more of like where he was promoting on the Magical World of Disney, like he was talking to the audience.
Mm,
Because when we went to the Disney exhibit that was here, we seen the CGI uh Walt.
yeah,
That was a little like that's weird.
yeah.
So
But I
like
know he never wanted like his image in Disney World. So even when they built like that famous statue of him with like Mickey, like back in the day, that was like a huge deal. So having an animatronic
chronic of him.
is like really bold, but also fuck it, who cares? Like,
Yeah, it's
What's Disney
no,
gonna do? Sue Disney? Like
it's right now that family's like it's like you said it's not what he wanted. I'm like, yeah, and I'm pretty
fuck
sure
off.
he
He
didn't
didn't
want.
know. I'm sure if they were like, hey, in 2024, they're gonna put a robot that's basically you. He would be like,
You,
ah, don't do that. He'd be like, whoa, that's crazy.
can we do it now?
And then smoke 82 cigarettes and yell a bunch of
Yeah.
Jewish epithets.
I mean, the head's in the castle. They're just gonna
Yeah,
take
yeah,
the head out of Frozen
yeah.
and put it
They
on the
should.
robot.
They should just thaw out his frozen head, put it on the
He's gonna
animatronic.
he's gonna be like the robot from Futurama.
Yep.
The head's just gonna be floating in his stomach.
And then finally, just kind of finish it off, Disneyland Paris, and some of the other parks in the world. They're getting a complete Lion King themed land at their own like roller or not roller coaster, log flume
Lachlan.
in the style of Splash Mountain. But it's the live action Lion King, so
No.
oh really?
He
Some of the
the
concept art looked
the concept that was the concept art was created when the previous uh
movie.
regime was in there. No, well the by paycheck.
Okay.
He was very high on IP, the IP
Mm,
we own, because he was for the 50th of Walt Disney World, he was going to rip out Country Bears and make it a Woody puppet show instead.
okay.
And then the internet saved it. So they already came out and said it's not based on the live action movie,
Ah,
based on the animated movie.
well, that makes me a little more excited, but also I'll never go to Disneyland Paris. I don't care.
You can.
But that's cool that they're getting a complete themed
Yeah, it's
like ride instead of just reskinning Splash Mountain. But
yeah,
yeah,
and
that's
because
fine. Spider-Man roller coaster was announced. It looks super cool. Just a concept art. Like it looks like the ride is going haywire. Spider-Man's kind of like swinging to save the ride as you're on it.
yeah,
Like
and
just for the
he's
concept art.
and it's in the corner. It's underneath. If you don't, if you didn't know, it's he's fighting Doc Ock.
I don't know. Did they announce like a villain? The only kind
The,
of pictures
the,
I see is him like webbing the cars as they're
it's
moving
in
around.
that you got to look like past it, and you see Doc Ock's.
Ah, cool. Even better.
Yeah, so
Um, and then we're gonna end off with the biggest news that they announced. Are you ready?
yes,
Disney Cruise is getting 4 new ships.
and I've never been on any of it at all.
I always say it like that because again, when I was watching it, like these Disney nerds are like
Oh,
fucking pathetic. Like he was like, and we're getting 4 new ships for the Disney cruise. I was like, like,
yeah,
it,
I wish I could afford just a Disney cruise ship
yeah,
once. And the
but
one I
just,
would go on is the new one because they're having a Haunted Mansion, which is my favorite Disney
mm,
attraction, themed bar.
yeah, but I love it's basically him just staying up there like, hey, we have $1 billion, and we're gonna $1 billion more, and everyone's just like, yeah, let's go.
Yay! Yeah.
So stupid. But it's whatever. Like I said, you and I love Disney. I'm not a purist like some of these people. I'm not crying over these announcements. I was just like,
Oh
these are
yeah.
cool. These are cool announcements.
Yeah.
Um, and someday I'll go back to Disney World because it's just not the same from when I went, but I
Oh
don't know.
no, it's completely changed probably.
Yeah, it's just the glitz and glamour of it all is kind of gone away. But I'm excited for these projects. I am excited to try new things. URP and I have kind of talked about Universal and them doing so much that hopefully it lights a fire under
Yeah.
Disney's ass to do some cool things because competition breeds whatever the saying is. But
Yeah,
yeah, so
because
hopefully it like gets them fired up.
like I think Universal was the first to do the themed world with Potter,
Mm.
and then Disney was like, "Well, now we got to do it." They
Yeah, we're
just,
doing Universal Monsters. Well, we're doing Disney villains.
I'm excited for Universal.
Yeah, I'm excited for everything Universal's doing. I would probably go to Universal before Disney at this point.
Yeah.
Mm. But That's it for our D23 episode. Thank you for listening and letting us guest RP if you're editing this episode. Thank you for letting us rant and not joining
Sorry.
us. Thank you, blah blah. I almost called you RP. Thank you, Preston, for joining me. I
Thank
couldn't
you.
have done this with anyone else, so thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Anything you want to plug?
Listen to the various podcasts from this lovely network.
There you go. Perfect. Thank you so much. Join us. I'm gonna join us. I don't even know. Or whatever RP and his gaggle of goons are doing next. It's probably gonna be more Fox nonsense. I'm trying to get him to do Blade, so if you're a fan, get him to do the Blade trilogy. Text him at 267-273-3. Give him a text. Tell him Blade, Blade, Blade. But thank you so much for listening. Be sure to buy a shirt, buy a sticker, T Public, Redbubble, follow previous record on everything. And thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.